Hey guys, it's Susan, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a beaded bar necklace. So today I'm going to show you guys how to make a beaded bar necklace. These are super popular and lots of fun. You can make them in any different color to match all your different outfits. You can layer them, you can give them as gifts. They're just really great, cute, simple, easy to make necklaces. And if you love this video, don't forget to ring that bell so you can get notified when our other videos come out every week. Now, to get started with this project, you're going to need some supplies. So let me go through those for you real quick so you know what you're doing. We're going to need, obviously, some beads for your beaded bar necklace, and I have an assortment here. I like about a 3mm bead for this. You can go up to a 4mm bead. I'm using rounds. Rondelles also work. So these are all gemstones. I've got some chalcedony, some amethyst, some crystal quartz, peridot, garnet, lapis, rose quartz. You can see just about anything you want to use. You're also going to need some 24 to 26 gauge wire. And the reason I'm saying 24 to 26 is I'm using gemstones and sometimes they have tiny holes. Now this particular set happens to have holes that fit that 24 gauge wire. But if you run into a set that's a little bit smaller, then you're going to want to use a smaller gauge wire and grab your 26 gauge. You're also going to need a necklace, and depending on the length of the necklace you're making, this one's 18 inches, you can use a 15 or a 16 inch, or you could even make your own chain. I think it's easier if you start with a finished chain. As far as tools are concerned, you're going to need just your basic set, chain nose, round nose, and flush cutter. Okay, well we're about ready to get started with this project, so I am going to start with my chain because I think that's the easiest place to start. This is an 18-inch chain, and some of you might like it 18 inches because what you can do with a little longer chain is you can put your bar on the side and have like an off-center bar. But if I'm going to make a short necklace where I want the bar to hit in the center, I'm going to want to shorten this up a little bit. So I'm going to take a couple inches off of my chain, and I'm just going to cut that with my flush cutter. I'm going to measure it on my little measuring thing here. I'm going to take off 3 inches because I want to make a 15-inch chain. So take about 3 inches off right at the center. And it's easiest to do this at the bottom of the necklace because that is where my bar is going to go, right between those two pieces. Okay, so I'm just going to set this to the side right here, and I'm going to cut a piece of 24 gauge wire. You don't need a lot, just about, you really probably only need about 4 inches, but I'm going to cut 6 just in case, because I'm always cutting a little extra wire. And you're going to start out by making a basic wire connector. And if you guys have not seen me do this before, you can check out my video, Essential Techniques, and I go through this in pretty much detail, but you'll see how I do it here as well. So I'm just gonna work with my round nose plier, and I wanna make a real small loop because I'm using a really delicate chain. You can see I've got a mark on my plier right there. That's kind of where I usually work, but I'm gonna work a little bit lower on the plier because the smaller, you see that jaw, it kind of tapers like that. So the closer to the tip I get, the smaller my loops are gonna be. So I'm going to grab it right there, just super close to the tip of the plier, about 1.5 inches from the bottom, and I'm going to bend that into a 90-degree angle. And then I'm going to grab it, same place on that plier, just about 1/8 of an inch from that bend, and I'm going to roll it into a half circle. And then I'm going to pull it all the way around the plier into a full circle. And so that is my connector, and that's what I need to attach to this piece of chain. So I'm just going to take this delicate little guy and put him on the end of that piece of wire. All right, so your chain's attached, and now you just need to close off that connector. So I'm going to take my chain nose plier and hold on to my little loop, and I'm going to wrap this wire 2 times around that long piece of wire. And then I'm going to take my flush cutter and trim this off really, really close. And then put that down just for a second, because what I want to do is I want to make sure I get that little tail tucked in nice and tight. So I'm just going to take my chain nose plier and press that down. So now I am ready to add some beads because we're making a beaded bar necklace. And since I'm using rounds, I'm going to use a little accent bead at the end. This is a piece of hematine, and it's gold plated, so it looks really pretty just to accent my beads. I'm just going to pop one of those guys on, and then I'm going to put either 9 or 10, depending on the length of the bar I want to make, of these little lapis round beads onto my wire. And like I said, these have pretty good size holes in them, so they're fitting this 24 gauge wire, no problem. Now you could just go a solid color like I'm doing on this one, or you can mix your colors up, or you could even do a little ombre effect like I have here on this one, where I kind of went with the lighter color at the end and then the darker color in the middle. All right, so you just want to keep stringing those beads on there until you have a full bar, like so, and then add your other bead at the other end. Okay, so I have put the 1 accent bead here, and then I did 9 of the little round beads and then 1 accent bead on the other side. And now essentially it's time to finish my necklace. I'm just gonna make another connector on this side and attach it to the other side. So I'm going to grab the 24 gauge wire right next to that round bead, and I want to go the same direction, so I'm going to turn this so my 2 loops are going to go the same direction. So see, I'm still working at that very tip of that plier. I am going to bend that back into a 90-degree angle, same as I done on the other side. And see, now I have a little space right there, and then I'm going to grab this about 1/8 of an inch from that bend and roll it into a half circle. Let's take that out so you can see. There's my half circle. Wrap the wire the rest of the way around the plier into a full circle. Now it's very important right now that I attach this to the other half of my chain, or else I will have to start over, and we don't want that. So let's just get this little guy on here. All right, and then you're just gonna pull the chain inside that circle, and then I'm gonna grab my chain nose plier and re-grasp this circle and take this piece of wire and wrap it 2 times around there so it matches the other side. Make sure everybody's the same. And then I'm going to trim off the extra wire like so. And then I usually come back in and just take my chain nose plier and make sure that little piece isn't sticking out, and just straighten up your loops a little bit because it looks prettier. I know that seems kind of like a silly step, but it looks prettier if your loops are really nice and straight. So there we go. And you can see now I have this cute little bar necklace. Oops, I need to get that on there. Isn't that cute? And so look, now I can make another one that are these colors, like so. And I can even make them different lengths and wear them layered if I wanted to. And then I could make another one that was rose quartz, which would be really pretty. Actually, I'm pretty excited about using the garnet. So I think that'll look great with the gold. And I think this color is gonna look really good shaded, where I put the dark colors in the middle and the light colors on the outside. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys liked learning how to make a beaded bar necklace. I can't wait to see what you guys do with it. Now don't forget, you're gonna need some tools and supplies to get started with this. You will need some 3mm or 4mm round or rondelle shaped beads, and you also need some 24 to 26 gauge wire, and of course your basic tool set, round nose, chain nose, and your flush cutter. And I almost forgot, you're absolutely going to need a chain to put your necklace on. Thanks so much for watching. If you guys would like to pick up some supplies like the ones we work with today, check out the links down below. What colored gemstone would you use on your beaded bar necklace? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that bell, and we'll see you again next time.